Let's begin today's Vanguard news with a not so surprising fact that the Lunar New Year promo card for this year has been quote unquote delayed. For those wondering what that is, it's a Cray Elemental over trigger featuring Tomari in a China dress, highly sought after by people of culture. Considering we never got last year's Lunar New Year promo card as well, Bushiroad will probably intend to delay this until everyone forgets about it. For those who don't watch the anime, Rezael's cards in DZBT-01 were shown off to the dismay of Angel Feather mains who wanted damaged toolboxing tactics. Patrol of Gust's Vintester when ridden over by Knight of Great Advance Essentia lets you call himself to rearguard then soul charge one card. And while on rearguard during your turn, he gets to K power if you have a grade 3 or higher Rezael Vanguard. Take note that this card's first skill is mandatory and would force you to soul charge one card. So expect this card to be replaced in the right line with better skills. Knight of Great Advance Essentia when ridden over by a grade 3 Rezael card lets you call up to one grade 2 or lower card from your drop zone. Resurgent Dragon should have really been a double rare seeing as a free 20k beat stick, while your opponent is still at grade 2 is just too good. Fated One of Miracles Rezael while on Vanguard lets you pay 1 counter blast when it attacks a Vanguard to call up to 2 cards from your drop zone with different grades and a total of grades that is equal or lower to your damage. And while on Vanguard, you can pay 1 Soul Blast to return all of your critical triggers from your drop zone back to your deck, then this unit gets an extra drive check. And until the end of the match, you cannot ride non-Rezael cards, and you heal 1 damage if your damage check a non-heal trigger unit while you're at 5 or more damage, but you lose this effect afterwards. If you were to literally put anime plot armor in a card's text, this would be it. This deck has everything a try-hard meta player wants, like 5 attack turns, being able to revive units, returning used critical triggers, and potentially turning all of your triggers into heals. Gigantic Masher when placed on rearguard by your Rezael Vanguard's ability gets 15k power. I would rather use Resurgent Dragon over this for simply being too reliant on Rezael. Aerial Sage while on rearguard gets 5k power during the battle he boosted while you have a grade 3 or higher Rezael Vanguard. And while on rearguard, you can pay 1 discard when he boosts a grade 3 or higher Rezael Vanguard to countercharge 1 damage, and he gets 2k power for that battle. The deck barely uses Counter Blast, and yet it's already getting a 15k countercharger booster. Bushiroad is already future-proofing the deck better than they did Nirvana. Knight of Gentle Beauty Nobia when placed on rearguard lets you pay 1 Counter Blast if you have a grade 3 or higher Rezael Vanguard to call up to 1 grade 3 or lower card from the top 3 cards of your deck, and putting the rest into the bottom of your deck in any order. You add it to your hand instead if you use this effect during the battle phase. And while on rearguard, you can pay 1 Soul Blast when she attacks a grade 3 or higher unit while you have a grade 3 or higher Rezael Vanguard to get 10k power for that battle. She reminds me of V-Series Rezael. They have similar abilities, but better conditions and both sport a hairstyle that covers one of their eyes. If not for the Rezael restriction, she would have probably been used in any Keta decks. Here are the secret rares for Rezael and Welstra. I actually prefer the Welstra one, since the silver and black borders make him look like part of a circuit board compared to Rezael's typical golden borders. Note that all of the fated units will be getting a secret rare version, so expect Chris Rain to be hella expensive despite looking like fish and microchips. Finally, Divines is getting its first festival booster in DZSS01. Before you start offloading all your hoarded promo cards thinking they are going to be reprinted, you'd be right, but they will have the RE or RE plus code, meaning that they're going to be more short printed harder than your locals not getting their supply of tournament promo cards for 2 months. This set will contain 2 new Nationless Order cards, being 1 Set Order and 1 Blitz Order, and 2 new Nationless Over Trigger. Considering how Idasphero and Valnaut were nicknamed as the blue and red over triggers respectively, I speculate these new ones will also cover a certain color. I'm calling yellow and green. And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members. I'm beginning to prefer this form of monetization assuming I get more members. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you finally figured out that Rezael's name is a play on the word res or resurrection.